When my friend asked me to dog sit for a week, I expected some company, not a descent into madness. The first night was uneventful until I noticed Max, the Labrador, growling at the living room window, his eyes fixed on something I couldn't see. It was unsettling, but I chalked it up to the wind or a passing animal. However, as the nights drew on, Max's growls turned to whimpers, and I began to hear faint whispers, just on the edge of perception, like a forgotten melody from a distant past. By the third night, the whispers had grown louder, coalescing into a cacophony of unintelligible voices that seemed to seep through the walls. Max was restless, pacing back and forth, his eyes never leaving the window. I started to feel a chill in the air, a coldness that lingered long after I turned up the heat. Determined to uncover the source, I ventured outside, only to find strange symbols etched into the ground, glowing faintly in the moonlight. Panic set in as I realized these markings were not random. They formed a pattern leading directly to the old oak tree in the backyard. The fourth night was when the shadowy figures appeared, amorphous and shifting, just at the edge of my vision. Max barked furiously, and I felt an overwhelming sense of dread, a heavy weight pressing down on me as if the shadows themselves were suffocating my very soul. I could no longer deny their presence, nor the fact that they seemed to be growing bolder, daring to step closer with each passing hour. Desperate, I turned to the journals I'd found in the attic, left by the house's previous owner, who had warned of an ancient curse tied to the land. On the final night, the shadows converged, forming a distinct figure, its eyes glowing with an ancient malevolence. Max stood beside me, his fur bristling, as I recited the incantation I'd pieced together from the journals. The air crackled with energy, and for a brief moment, the world seemed to hold its breath. As the last words left my lips, the figure shrieked, a sound so piercing it felt like my ears would bleed, before dissipating into the night. The whispers ceased, and a chill lifted, but the sense of unease lingered, a reminder that some curses, once awakened, never truly sleep.